Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I thought never in a million years would I've ever said this. We got a Yu-Gi-Oh! FPS Archetype in the game. If you guys know who this picture is at the top, you know. Like, what were they thinking? I don't know, but I'm hyped up about this. Let's go and check it out. Wait, it's got fusions too? This looks really cool. It reminds me of, I don't know if any of you guys have played a really cool game called Dark Messiah or even Hexen for like the N64 way back in the day. But that's kind of what it reminds me of. But it's an FPS dungeon crawler archetype. I'm super hyped about it. If you are too, drop a like on it. But let's get started. I believe they're called the Mr Runes, at least right now for the translation. So let's go ahead and get started with this. So anyways, first card is the Spring of the Mr Rune. It's a field spell card that says you can only you can activate Mr Rune quick play spell cards from your hand during your opponent's turn. Okay, that's a pretty good mechanic. Measure what is that? Magic Bullets or Magical Musketeers. And the second part of the effect is once per turn, if you activate a Mr Rune quick play spell card, you can target up to 3 Mr Rune quick play spells in your graveyard and place them on the bottom of the deck in any order, then draw that many cards? Wait, I could draw 3 with this. What? That is so insane. What? Okay, this archetype already sounded broken. Deceit of the Mr Rune, continuous spell card, and it says you can only control 1 Deceit of the Mr Rune. Each time a quick play spell card is activated, banish the top card of your opponent's. I don't know if I would consider that really good. Some decks are like cool. Next up, we have Point of the Mr Rune. So it's a quick play spell card that says you can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. The first part of the effect is to activate one of these effects. Skip your next battle phase after this card resolves. Add 1 Mr Rune card from your deck to your hand except for Point of the Mr Rune. Then banish the top card of your opponent's deck. So is it a deck out deck now? The other effect is to special summon 1 Mr. Rune monster from your extra deck to the extra monster. You could just straight up, I mean, these are pretty broken mechanics. Just add any card is obviously like a pretty good card effect, but like then you just special summon anything from the extra deck from the archetype? That's insane. Next up, okay, here's the gun. Okay, TCG gonna be swapping this artwork out with the teddy bear, calling it now, or they're gonna put a fur hire in the hand. All right. Next up, though, yeah, Mr Rune of the Brilliant Flame, quick play. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. 1, activate 1 of these effects. Skip your next battle phase after this card resolves. Target 1 opponent's special summon monster, destroy it, then banish the top 2 cards of their deck. The other part of the effect is to special summon 1 Mr. Rune monster from your extra deck to the extra monster zone. Dude, these effects are insane. They're all quick play. Remember, one of them is like draw 3. You place them on the bottom, then you like that's an insane effect. Next up, that we have Mr. Rune of Destruction. Quick play spell card. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. First part of the effect is activate 1 of these effects, skip your next battle phase after this card resolves. First part of the effect is to target 1 spell set trap your opponent control, destroy it, then banish the top 4 cards of their deck. The next effect is to special summon 1 Mr. Rune monster from your extra deck to the monster. Dude, like, you can either special summon anything from the extra deck or just banish. The banish, I don't know. Like, realistically, in Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, if they play... Why would they even hit Desires? This deck would just, like, obliterate people. You use Desires? Okay, I'm just gonna game you now. Doesn't make any sense. Alright, Mr. Rune of the Disciple. This is a quick play spell card. Here's the artwork. My bad on some of the artworks. I haven't zoomed up on every single one. I'm just super hyped up about this archetype. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. The first part of the effect is activate 1 of these effects, skip your next battle phase after this card resolves. So it says if your opponent adds a card or cards from the deck to their hand, except for drawing them, discard 1 random card from their hand, then banish the top 2 cards of their deck. The next effect is supposed to summon 1 Mr. Rune monster from your extra deck to the extra monster. Now, again, both of the effects are still really powerful, potentially. One's like for the archetype, the other one's just like special and whatever. Next up, though, it looks like a bow card. This is another quick play. I think everything's going to be quick play in here. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. The first part of the effect is to activate 1 of these effects, skip the battle phase after this card resolves. The first part says target effect monster opponent controls negates effect until the end of this turn, then banish the top 3 cards of their deck. The other effect is special summon a Mr. Rune monster from your extra deck to the extra monster zone. The other next up card over here, we have Mr. Rune of Slumber, another quick play spell. And it says you only have 1 card with this card's name per turn. I'm just going to say skip battle phase just so it's easier at this point, you know. So skip battle phase. It says target 1 face of monster field, apply this effect, then banish the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. Once applied, this turn that monster cannot attack. Also, the next time it would be destroyed by battle by card effect, it is not destroyed. Huh, okay. I mean, I guess stopping the attack and you can't destroy it. Well, we have to wait to see the extra deck, though. Special summon any Mr. Rune from the extra deck. And see, the thing that's important, it has to be in the extra monster zone, so you can only get, like, one out at kind of a time, unless you're, like, linking off with it. Next up, though, we have the Mr. Rune of the Golden Droplets. Quick play spell card that says you can only activate one card with this card's name per turn. First part says activate one of these effects, skip your next battle phase. Your opponent draws one card, then you banish the top 4 cards of their deck. Okay. That other effect is special one Mr. Rune monster from your extra to the extra monster zone. Next up, we have Mr. Rune of the Raging Storm. So this is like Thor's hammer. Is that hammer from something else in the Yu-Gi-Oh game? I think it is. Oh, we've even got skeletons with like horns. They're changing this. This whole archetype is getting changed in TCG. Quick play small card that says you can activate one card with this card's name per turn. First part of the effect is to activate one of these effects. Skip your next battle phase, and then banish cards from the top of your opponent's deck equal to the number of cards they control. That's pretty good. And it's supposed to one Mr. Rune monster from your extra deck to the extra monster. Okay, this is the important part. Are there extra deck monsters good? Otherwise, you're just relying on deck out. Moonin, the wings of the Mr. Rune here is the artwork. Looks like it's going to be a light level 3. 0 attack, 2,000 defense points. Materials are 2 Mr. Rune monsters. If this card is supposed to one from the extra deck, you get to discard one card to add one Mr. Rune continuous spell from your deck to your hand. Second part is when your opponent activates a card or effect that targets Mr. Rune cards and or set cards you control, you get as a quick effect, banish the card, negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card. The third effect is once per turn during each end phase, you get to gain 1,000 life points. I mean, why are you putting a heal? It's so strange. That's a really weird card for the archetype, other than like being able to search a card. Next up, we have Jerry, Fangs of the Mr. Rune. It looks like it's going to be a dark level 4, 0 attack, 1,000 defense points, and its materials are 2 Mr. Rune monsters. It says if this card is special summoned from the extra deck, you get to target one non-quick play Mr. Rune spell in your graveyard and can add it to your hand. The second part is it cannot be destroyed by card effects. Third part of it says when this card is destroyed by battle, you get to target one card in the field and destroy it. Okay, kind of mediocre effects. And then Book of Eclipse reprint. What? That was really like random. Is that what they... So like the monsters don't even make sense at all. It has nothing to do really with the whole banish. Is this deck good? I was like, dude, these effects are absolutely insane, especially, but like, keep in mind, guys, this is the early introduction, and the weird thing is that like, they're fusions, but like, you got to use 2 materials, but I guess you're just going to more than likely just special summon them via like the other card effects, and they're like very mediocre monsters. I'm really curious, what do you guys think of this archetype? I was just hyped up that we got this effects on like all the cards, being able to just activate these cards, and like going back and like now looking at some of the beginning cards that we had, specifically that effect where you get to, this one right here is the field spell. But the thing is they're just gonna pop this card. I guess you can use the other card's effects if you want to kind of protect it. But you'd have to like basically set that up in advance, because like I believe if they would already target it as the target, right? Because it says when your opponent activates something that targets it, so you'd have to do it before. So you'd have to just immediately summon the other card before being more reactive, which is generally what you'd want to do in Yu-Gi-Oh, because they'd already have targeted it. I mean, it doesn't negate the activation. So you have to, again, bring that card out first versus, let's say, once they do something, if this card like protects it in some other way. Again, the problem is that they would already target. I'm pretty sure it's just a little bit too slow. Anyways, that's my thoughts. I think the archetype is pretty cool, though. Let me know your thoughts down below on it. Is it good? Is it bad? I think it's got potential, but to deck out, it might be like the way to play the deck. I bet you could make a good deck out deck with this, honestly, like, because you can use so many cards. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on Yu-Gi-Oh, subscribe, turn the bell so you don't miss out on more new Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I'll see you in the next vid. I'm out. Peace. Those are crazy, man.